Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be speed painting a lavender painting inspired by one of the Barbie movies that I watched lately. So I'm just putting in the base colors there. There's no plan or whatsoever. I haven't sketched anything, so I'm just using the colors to layer on top of each other. So I'm just dabbing in purple because I'm gonna put lavender there. So it's like a base color to it. And then I'm adding more layers of green. And then for the back, I put a blue because there's gonna be blue mountains at the back. And then basically I'm just layering more colors of the same colors on the base color, so it has more layers. And there's gonna be a lot of this in this video. So now you're starting to see the hills, although they don't really look too much, but you see that I'm trying to make hills and some sort of purple flower there. So that's the thing about watercolor. You can make it very detailed, or you can just go with it and let it decide what it wants to be. That's how I usually like to watercolor. So I'm just dabbing in more colors and layering until it looks at least like what I envisioned. So I think to me watercolor is not for like perfectionists. I could be a perfectionist sometimes, so this is sort of my escape from being a perfectionist, because as you can see, it looks nothing like what you usually see lavender fields, but slowly it becomes more defined and more it has more depth. And sometimes the second and third, like the middle layers before the touch-ups, are the ugliest layers, and then you start to lose hope. But that's watercolor. That's basically watercolor. You just have to keep layering until it becomes okay. So I'm adding like lines there because lavenders have stems. So you're starting to see the stems of the lavender on the heels that still don't look like heels. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep adding their color. But you see, I put the colors on wet surface too much, so the paper starts to show. So I basically just have to wait it dry for a bit so it doesn't peel off. Because there's so much water that the paper can handle, even though it's watercolor paper. Okay, I'm using a darker color to make the leaves or the buds of the lavender. So I'm just dabbing in randomly there. As you can see, it's still undefined, the heels, but we'll get there. I'm using another purple. This purple, I mixed the previous shade with a bit red, so it's that color. But then I used a darker color. I mixed this with black, I think. So you have various shades of purples, so it looks like there's a lot of lavenders there piling on top of each other. Editing this video, I kind of regret making the sky darker because it was fine just now. But you can't fix what the color once you put a darker color, because you can only make it darker and not lighter. Unlike like acrylic or gouache, you can just always layer on top if you make any mistake. But that's okay. Watercolor is forcing me to accept my mistakes and carry on. Okay, so I'm just lining the mountains with lines of green because I'm starting to get impatient and I'm scared that it won't look like what I want it to look, because I've spent quite a lot of time on this. So I'm also like darkening the blue mountain at the back so I can differentiate between the sky and the mountain. And this one is actually a darker shade of purple, so I'm making lavenders with like crisper buds, as you can see. So it's more defined and not just a bunch of purples. Okay, next is the touch-up process. So I'm using white gouache, not watercolor, I'm using gouache. I'm lining the mountains and then I'm adding like whites here and there. So it looks more, you know, you feel like you see dark accents there and then you have like lighter accents here and there, so it looks more 3D. It actually turned out quite okay. I didn't expect it to be like this, but I think it's fine. I like how spontaneous it looks. So I'm just adding, I think that's like a lilac white color there. I added some purple watercolor into the white gouache. And then I'm lining the back and putting in some clouds, and that's all.